that justice has different facades. Isa lang po ang korte, o ultimate ang korte. But being able to rise up in the morning,
Hello mga friend, live ulit
magtrabaho,
tayo.
ang anak kahit kandila,
Ito
magsulat
mga
at mag-aral mabuti, para sa akin,
witness,
katarungan na po yun.
nagsasalita.
Hugis po ng katarungan yon. Now, to address
High blood
the
na
cases,
high blood si
to address the
Bato
cases, there
de la
are
Rosa.
cases that are being addressed. There are cases that have fallen into our hands and they are ongoing. I will not outline it here.
What a fuss
but
daw, sabi
submit the
niya.
records.
May nadamay
Second,
na bata na namatay,
if
what a
there are
fuss.
really cases of Danlaban, let me now throw this question. Di ba ho, sa investigasyon, sa crime scene, ang isang pine-preserve po dyan ay yung baril na ginamit. 6,000 po daw ang nanlaban. So dapat merong 6,000 baril with corresponding documents. One way to let the public know
Oo nga,
that
kung
the war on
nanlaban
drugs
na-
was real and true to its word, let us see the 6,000 handguns.
6,000 people lang ng
That's a
laban.
question po.
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
Salamat po.
if I may,
Senator Bato.
I
Allah.
hope the next hearing, we can invite the Director of
Investigation.
Forensic Service of the PNP para mailatag niya yung whereabouts nitong mga
Take note, yes.
lahat ng mga ebidensya na na-recover. And for the record, Mr. Chair, I just would like parating kay Father na I appreciate what you're doing, Father. Thank you for what you are doing.
Kanina
Pasensya ka na kung sinabi ko na
what a fuss.
kung hindi ka nakapag-file ng kaso, parang you limit yourself to propaganda. But then again,
Oh, yun
you
naman
said
ang
na may
lagi niyong
nakapile kayong
sinasabi.
kaso. And I encourage you, please, file kayo ng kaso. Kasi kawawa talaga yung namatay. Mag-file kayo ng kaso. I am one with you in seeking for justice to these victims. Filean nyo na kaso.
Salamat po at madami pong kaso hinahabla na po. Salamat.
Thank you, Father.
Salamat,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair,
Mr.
yeah,
Chair.
before I recognize Senator Risa, can we ask Attorney Dulay to sit here with us? He's the Inspector General of the IAS, para just in case. Yes, go ahead, Senator Contiveros.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. One follow-up question kay Father Flavi. Father, dun sa pagkamatay ni Mika at yung ama niya, kinonfirm ba ni Doktora Fortune na talagang nagkaroon ng shootout dun sa pagkamatay ng dalawang, yung mag-ama?
Mr. Chair, Senator Risa referring to itong dalawa po. I think
Yes po.
na confirm niya po. I hope I'm right, but please don't quote me. Pero alam ko po na autopsy po ni Dr. Raquel.
Salamat, Father. So, Mr. Chair, kung maaaring maimbita din po sa susunod na hearing si Doktora Fortune.
It's okay.
Salamat,
Nakaplano na po yan. Nakaplano na po. Pero doon po kay yung bata na sinabi mo, yung bata na sabi mo na discover ni Dr. Fortune na may gunshot wound.
Yes.
Hindi na yata disputed yun na ang cause of death ng bata was a gunshot wound. Tama?
Yes po.
Okay, so that is claro. Senator Tolentino, I think, wants to ask
Father, maganda tanghali po, Mayang Ulto. Binanggit mo kanina na marami kang senior na mga pangalan, although malayo dito, hindi naman namin mabasa. But you mentioned the words highly confidential. Parang hindi ba lumalabas na yung pagsishare mo ng information would be selective, subjective? Paano po ito? Saan ang hangganan na ito? Kung ano lang yung gusto nyong ibigay o kasi ang gustong patunguhan ng committee ito, ng hearing, malaman nga kung ano yan. Pero kung magbibigay kayo ng konti, withhold kayo, paano po yun?
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Nung sinabi kong highly confidential, unang-una po ay meron po sila kanya-kanyang mga abogado. And I believe that there is also a proper forum kung saan ito po ay lilitisin bukod po dito sa ating magiting na house. So, yun po yung context ng highly confidential. If we could and only we could give it all, we would upon their approval po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Salamat, Majority Leader.
Salamat po.
Salamat. Please stay on in the hearing, Father. kasi kami po baka may mga dagdag na tanong pa sa inyo in the course of the other testimonies. At this point, the chair would like to call on Attorney Dean Chel Jokno to make the presentation in his capacity as the chair of the Free Legal Assistance Group or FLAG. And the committee understands, Dean Chel, that you have with you a survivor of an attempted extrajudicial killing. So kung maaari pong isama niyo rin po yung kwento niya sa inyong presentation. So, Attorney Chel, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Your Honors. May I request that the slides be put on the screen? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Ang kampanyang kontra-illegal na droga ng Administrasyong Duterte ay hindi lang basta-basta nagsimula sa kalsada at barangay. Ang pinagmula ng war on drugs ay isang utos o command na galing mismo sa pinakamataas na opisyal ng Philippine National Police. At yun po ay nakikita ninyo sa right side ng screen. Next slide, please. Ang una po niyang reference sa kanyang command circular ay ang pronouncement ni President Rodrigo R. Duterte to get rid of illegal drugs during the first 6 months of his term. Next slide, please. Sa PNP CMC 16-2016 nanggaling ang utos na magsagawa ang PNP ng panibagong anti-illegal drugs campaign na binansagang Project Double Barrel. Next slide. Ang konsepto ng operations sa Project Double Barrel ay unang-una ito ay ilulunsad sa unang araw ng Chief PNP. At pangalawa, ito ay may dalawang sangay, kaya double barrel po ang tawag.
Oh.
Project Tokhang and Project HVT. Next slide, please.
Project ni
Ayan po ang diagram
kay
ng
Bato
double
nagsimula
barrel.
ang
Project
Tokhang.
HVT ay high value target
High
at
value.
Project Tokhang ang lower barrel.
Oo.
Ano ngayon ang ibig sabihin po, next slide, ng Project Tokhang? Yan yung alam natin ng mga house-to-house visit ng police sa mga pinaghihinalaang sangkot sa illegal na droga.
Pinaghihinalaan pa lang kasi.
Next slide. Ano naman ang Project HVT? Ayan po yung tawag na high-value targets, yung mga involved na drug personalities sa international at domestic drug trafficking. Next slide, please. Kaya ang tanong po ay, ano ang pinagkaiba ng Project Double Barrel sa mga dating anti-illegal drugs campaign ng pamahalaan? Dalawa po ang pinagkaiba. Next slide.
Wala.
Unang-una, may utos sa loob ng command circular na yan na mag-neutralize at mag-negate ng mga suspected
neutralize.
illegal drug personalities. Pangalawa, ang utos ay gumamit ng drug list para tugisin ang mga sangkot umano sa illegal na droga. Next slide, please.
Mali kasi yan.
Siyempre po, alam naman natin lahat, ang trabaho
Siyempre,
ng
kung
pulis ay
sino nang
mag-imbestiga,
ipalista mo,
magkalap ng ebidensya at
ililista na.
magsampa ng kaso laban sa mga salarin. Kaya ang tanong ay, bakit nag-iba ang utos sa Project Double Barrel? Imbis namang aresto at magsampa ng kaso,
Oo.
bakit neutralize at negate ang iniutos ng CMC 16-2016?
Okay.
Imbis na magkalap ng ebidensya para sa korte, bakit drug list ang iniutos nitong command circular? Next slide, please. Paulit-ulit po
Hindi
ang
kasi
utos ng command circular na
press
ito na
conference muna
mag-neutralize
kung
mismo
tama
sa
o hindi
purpose
ang
ng
drug
circular
war.
nakalagay na dapat i-neutralize ang mga illegal drug personalities sa buong Pilipinas. Next slide, please. At sa loob ng circular, nandiyan po naka-highlight sa dilaw.
Hello, welcome
Yan
po
yung
sa
mga
live natin.
paulit-ulit na command
Makinig
to
tayo ng
neutralize
hearing.
and
Nandyan
to
po si
negate.
former
Next
President
slide, please.
Duterte. At yung drug war niya ang
Wala naman po sa batas ang
uusapan
salitang negate at
kung
neutralize.
tama o hindi.
Kaya libre ang pulis na unawaan ito base lamang sa kanilang sariling interpretasyon. Kumbaga, Your Honors, ay
Kayo po ba ay
bahala na
pabor
sila
sa drug
magpasya
war,
kung
Tokhang?
ano ang ibig sabihin nito. Ang tanong po ngayon, syempre, ay ano ang pagkaintindi o pag-unawa ng pulis sa utos na mag-neutralize at mag-negate? Next slide.
Neutralize nga eh.
Ang mga susunod po na salitang paggamit ng neutralize at negate ay galing mismo sa mga opisyal ng PNP. Next slide, please. Si PNP spokesperson, Senior Superintendent Carlos noong 2016, mismo ang nag-announce noon na ang ibig sabihin ng neutralize ay pinatay o killed. At mismo siya nag-announce na papalitan na nila sa mga report ng double barrel. Imbis na killed, ang ilalagay nila ay neutralized.
Neutralize. Oh.
Next slide. Ang mga susunod naman ng mga police reports ay sinulat at nanggaling mismo sa mga units ng PNP sa Santa Ana, Manila. Makikita dito, paulit-ulit din nilang ginagamit ang neutralized kaugnay ng Project Double Barrel at ang pagpatay sa suspect dahil umano siya ay nanlaban. Ito po yung isa. Next slide, please.
Bumanat ka lang siguro.
Isang information
Nanlaban ka na.
report galing sa PNP Santa Ana. Elements of Santa Ana Police Station will step up for the suspect's immediate apprehension and neutralization. Kung ang ibig lang sabihin ay hulihin yung suspect, bakit pa dinagdag ang salitang neutralization?
Neutralization.
Next slide, please. Yung suspect po dito ay nailagay sa isang drug watch list at medyo maliit lang pero may makikita kayong handwritten notation sa tabi ng pangalan niya, killed, at yung petsa kung kailan siya pinatay. Next slide, please. And one more, next slide, please. As predicted in the PNP information report, ang tatlong suspect, Mr. Manawis at 2 bunuan, ay na-neutralize o napatay sa isang bypass operation dahil sila raw ay nanlaban.
Puro
Next slide,
nanlaban.
please. May hawak po ang flag ng mga 20 sets pa ng mga police reports galing din sa Police Santa Ana na ganun din, halos eksakto word for word ang paggamit nila ng salitang neutralize. Ang nakita po namin pattern, una, bago magsagawa ng police operation, na-identify na yung suspect bilang target for immediate apprehension and neutralization. Pangalawa, halos lahat sila ay nasa drug watch list. Pangatlo, nung nagkaroon daw ng bypass operation, lahat sila ay nanlaban at pinatay.
Bakit kasi
Next slide,
nagdra-drugs
please.
kasi ang
Pero hindi
mga
lang po
ano?
ang Santa Ana Police ang gumagamit ng neutralize, pati sa Tondo, meron din po. Next slide, please.
Dami rin kasi
Ito
sa
ay
Manila.
sa isang operation tungkol sa pagkapatay kay Rex
Wala
Apari.
nang ibili ng
Dahil
pagkain.
during
Ba't may
police
maibili
operation,
ng
the operation resulted in the neutralization of the suspect. At hindi lang po yon, next slide please. Si Colonel Espenido na nandito po ngayon ay nung tumestigo sa Quadco may umamin na ang ibig sabihin na neutralize ay kill.
Kill.
Next slide please. Tinanong po siya ni Congressman Owaminal, does that include referring to neutralization? Colonel, na ang pagpatay sa target, ang sagot po, kasali na, Your Honors. At hindi lang po siya, next slide please, pati ang PIDEA Chief,
Yung
si
iba kasi
Director
na
General
pwedeng-
Lasso, ay inamin din ng ibig sabihin ng negate at neutralize ay kill. Next slide please.
Dapat ang mga tinarget
Tinanong
nila
po
ay
siya ni
mga
Congresswoman
ano,
Luis Tro,
drug lord,
can you
hindi
please
kasi yung
enlighten us, ano pong ibig sabihin ng negated?
isang
Answer
gramo
ni
isang
General Lacso,
gramo.
it is neutralized, Your Honor. I mean, he was killed already. Negated for the case of Mayor Halili would then mean that he is dead already. Yes, Your Honor. That is why it was neutralized already. Sagot, yes, Your Honor. Next slide, please. Ibinulgar din ni Colonel
Dapat
Royina
bigyan
Garma sa
nila ng
Quadcom
pagkakataon
ang
na
reward
humarap
system
sa,
na
ano,
tinupad sa Duterte
hurado,
drug war. Hindi ka
sa
na po
judge.
babasahin ng lahat ng nasa sinagot niya.
Hindi
Pero ang
yung
sabi lang
itumba mo
niya, may
agad.
reward po yan. Ang Davao model ang kanilang sinunod. First is the reward if suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. And third is the refund of operational expenses. At gusto ko lang pong i-emphasize, ang sabi niya, rewards were only given for killings. For arrests, only reimbursement of expenses.
Oh, only
Next slide,
reimbursement.
please. Iba-iba din po ang halaga ng reward, depende kung small time o big time. Ang mga small time daw around 20,000, ang big time umaabot ng 500,000 hanggang 1,000,000 piso. Next slide please. Kaya ang naging resulta po, killing frenzy sa kapulisan.
Mm-mm.
Kaya sa tingin ko, umabot sa 20,322 ang napatay nung una pa lang 17 buwan ng drug war. Ang numero pong 20,322 ay galing mismo sa Korte Suprema, isang extended resolution at ang sinasite
Grabe.
nila ang
Neutralize
2017
agad.
Year-End Accomplishment Report
Wala nang
na galing sa
tanong-tanong.
Office
Basta
of the
sinabi na
President.
nanlaban, patayin na.
Next slide, please. Marami pong mga kamag-anak ang lumapit sa amin sa flag, kamag-anak ng mga EJK victims. Pero marami din sa kanila ay natatakot magsampa ng kaso dahil malamang baka balikan sila o yung mga kamag-anak nila. At kahit ngayon, marami pa rin pong takot dahil many of those involved or responsible ay
Hello, mga
naka-uniforme
friend.
pa. Next slide, please.
Pabor ba kayo noon
Pero
sa
meron po kaming isang
Oplan Tukhang?
testigo na kasama
Ang daming
ngayon,
namatay.
isang survivor ng EJK, si
Mga
Roger
inosente yung
Herrero,
iba. Pero
na nung
kahit
siya
na,
ay
dapat
pinaril,
hindi nila
akala ng pulis
pinatay.
siya ay patay na, nakahanap siya ng tulong, nadala siya
Dapat
sa
din,
ospital.
binigyan
Nung
din sila
nalaman
ng due
pulis
process,
na buhay
di
pa
ba?
siya, kinasuhan siya ng robbery, nakakuha siya ng acquittal, dinismiss ang kasong robbery laban sa kanya, at siya naman ang nagsampa ng frustrated murder laban sa mga pulis. Na-convict po ang 4 na pulis of attempted murder. Ito po ang picture
Yung
ni
ano,
Roger
nakaligtas.
Herrero, at nandito po siya sa loob ng ating session hall. Roger, kung maaari po ay kayo tumayo.
Yung
Si
nakaligtas.
Roger Herrero po.
Yung ano,
Next slide, please. Salamat, Roger. Maaari pong
nakaligtas na
may magtatanong,
binaril nila.
robbery naman ang charge. Paano siya naging biktima ng drug war? Next slide, please. Pero mismo ang taga-NBI ang nagsabi po sa amin sa flag na ito ay ginawa ng pulis, kasama ito sa drug war dahil ang reward ang end goal ng mga pulis. At sabi pa niya,
napasama pa
the
yung mga
PNP
pulis sa
changed their
ginawa nila
narrative into simple crime
na
operation
doberbare.
when the incident reached the NBI because suddenly a charge of robbery was filed. Para dito yung kaso ni Carl Arnaiz, kung maalala po ninyo, after Kian de los Santos, ang sumunod na pinatay ay si Carl Arnaiz. Ang sabi naman ng pulis nung lumabas yung balita na napatay nga siya, ay nang hold up daw siya. Pero actually, na-convict yung mga pulis din sa kaso ni Carl Arnaiz, hindi lang ng pagkapatay, kundi pati planting of evidence. Kaya po kami nababahala sa mga nangyayari at sa mga nangyayari mga kaso noong panahon ng war on drugs. Ready po anytime mag-testify si Roger Herrero. Nasa
Kala ko,
committee po.
oh.
Thank you.
Roger Herrero, no?
Yes.
Sige, are you done?
Yes,
thank you. And then ikaw, Attorney Joke, no? Marami kang
si Joke
kliyente
na.
na victim families ng EJK, kaya familiar ka sa issue na to? Yun po ba yun?
Meron po at meron kaming inihain na kaso sa Korte Suprema.
Salamat sa pag-akyat sa aking
ngalan ng
live, mga
tatlong
friend.
kliyente namin na nandun pa rin at nakapending sa Supreme Court.
Kliyente meaning to say, namatayan ng mga pamilya?
Pakinggan natin
Ano po
tong
sila? Yung
mga
isa,
witnesses
si Jefferson
ng
Soriano, ay
illegal
survivor
drugs
din
na
ng
namatay.
EJK.
Okay.
Yung isa, si Rowena Apari, ay nanay ng napatay na nanlaban daw. At yung pangatlo ay relative po rin ng isang EJK victim.
Okay, pero yung EJK po ito, since familiar ka naman sa background facts, yung mga attempted EJK or victim ng EJK, sa ngalan ng war on drugs ang operation ng police?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Siguro kaya nyo naman siguro i-organize po yung data. Bigyan nyo po kami ng information.
Sure.
And
Opo, sure.
dahil dyan sa pag-aaral mo sa issue na ito ay na-encounter mo ngayon yung Memorandum Circular 16-2016.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino po nag-issue nun?
Si Chief PNP noong panahon na yon, si ngayon Senator Ronaldo Bato de la
Anong
Rosa.
date yun?
Ronald lang, Ronald.
Ronald.
Walang O.
Sorry po.
Anong date yung MC?
July 1, 2016. First day po niya sa
July 1,
pagpupubilang
2016.
Chief PNP.
And as an experienced lawyer, napansin mo doon ang pag-insert ng anong mga salita? Na alanganing salita?
Neutralize po at negate.
Negation ata nang nandun, ano?
Yes.
Anong mas madalas gamitin doon? Neutralization.
Neutralization.
Yung negation, ilang times na bang
Limang
ginagamit?
beses po nabanggit yung neutralize at 2 beses nabanggit ang negate.
Negate. So, sa pag-aaral mo, just in case you know, sa mga police material, is this the first time na ginamit ang neutralization, neutralize, negation, negate?
May mga 1 or 2 na mga police documents na nakita ko po yan. Pero wala akong alam na may ganyan sa mga utos sa drugs, lalong-lalo na sa war on drugs. Kundi ito lang CMC 16-26.
Oh, pero yung mga naalala mo na-encounter mo yung terms, in what context mo naman sila na-encounter? In police documents?
I think it was pointed out by then Justice Carpio in one of the hearings, the oral argument during the Almora case, the war on drugs case. Siya po ang nagbanggit po sa amin nung kami nakaharap sa Supreme Court.
Alam mo, diniscuss ko na rin sa staff ko yan eh. What would be a better word to replace neutralization or negation if you do not have killing as included in the meaning of the word? Sige nga, can I benefit from your presence, Attorney Joe?
Kaya nga po ako nagtaka dahil alam naman natin na ang tungkulin ng pulis ay manghuli, mangkalap ng ebidensya at magsampa ng kaso. Yun yung hinahanap namin sa command circular. Mang-aresto kayo, kumuha kayo ng ebidensya, mag-file kayo ng case. Nung nakita namin paulit-ulit yung negate at neutralize, sabi po namin, bakit nito ay nailagay doon? Kung ang purpose ay mang-aresto, bakit hindi na lang ginamit yung salitang aresto?
Parang
Mr. Chair.
Kristo.
Okay, at Senator Bato?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Siya lagi ang si Bato.
Yung insistence ni Atty. Jukto about using the
Ayan.
word neutralize,
May siya nga
na puro killing lang ang gusto niya palabasin. If you can remember, Atty. Jukno, during our senatorial debate doon sa UST, almost 6
Dapat
years
kasi
ago,
nung
sinagot
nag-war
na
on
kita
drug
tungkol dyan.
nag-meeting ba sila? Yung mga ganyan, yung mga senator, ipapasa nila ang bill, di ba?
Doon sa
Hindi yung
debate
sila
na yun.
lang.
Kaya nga siguro ako nanalo.
Hmm?
Ginawa akong senador ng taong bayan.
Yan ang
Dahil nasagot
pinagmamalaki.
ko yung tanong mo na yun. If I will give you the
Answer.
Google meaning of neutralize, ito po nakasabi. It is a verb. Render something ineffective or harmless by applying an opposite force or effect. So ano ibig sabihin yan? Render something ineffective or harmless by applying an opposite force or effect. Ano yung opposite force or effect na sinasabi? Yan ang sinasabi mong negation. Negation operation. Paano gagawin yan?
Neutralize.
Kasi sabi mo, gusto mo magpulis-pulisan eh. Gusto mo yung term ng pulis. Talagang insist yung gusto mong meaning eh. Yung negation operations ay pagkakandak ng operations against the suspects. Pag magkanda ka ng operations,
Pag
chances
nanlaban.
are na pwede mo siyang maaresto,
Pag nanlaban,
pailan mo ng kaso,
neutralize.
para makulong at hindi na siya makapag-commit pa ng further crimes. Ineffective na siya sa kanyang mga criminal activities.
Wala nga na
Ngayon,
ikulong.
Sabi mo patay. Yes, pwede mayroong mamatay dyan sa neutralization kapag ang suspect ay lumaban sa operation because by all means, ang police has to defend themselves. Self-defense. Ewan ko. Tanungin natin itong mga former chief PNP kung ano ba talaga ang meaning ng neutralization. Dahil alam ko, police, military, at maraming organization gumagamit ng term ng neutralize. Binibigyan lang kasi ng masamang meaning nitong mga anti-Duterte na people.
Ay, Apo, ikaw ang
Dahil kinukuha
nagpopolitika
pa
eh.
Yung PDEA director, na yes, he's free to make his own meaning, his own definition of that term. But ito ngayon, tatlong former chief PNP, Mr. Chair, can I ask General Gamboa,
Hello
When I
mga
say
friend, comment naman
neutralize,
kayo
ano
dyan
ibig
sa
sabihin
mga
niyan?
nanonood.
You have the,
Thank you po.
Please, you have the floor.
This three former PNP chiefs
Pwede po
came
mag-follow
after
ay mag-subscribe
the
naman
PNP
kayo.
chief Bato. So tama. So,
Correct.
yes.
And even
So,
that memorandum that I signed, cited by
Wala nga
Medyo,
nanigate. Puro neutralize.
was true,
nabasa
then
na nila.
they were covered by that memorandum. And I would like to seek their opinion as to the intent of that memorandum. Is it really killing?
Yes.
Otherwise,
Building,
kung gusto
building.
mong patayin yung mga suspect na yan, bakit pa ako gagamit ng neutralized term? Gagamitin ko ang to kill. Bakit ko pa gagamitin yung term ng neutralized,
Huwag
Mr.
ka nang
Chair?
malusot ba to?
Can I hear from
Wala nang
General Gamboa, Mr. Chair?
tinataniman mo.
In order tayo, in order sa kanila. Sige, sige, ganito sa records ko, no, after, naging chief Albayal, after Bato de la Rosa, Albayalde, Gamboa, Cascolan, Sinas, Eliazar, Carlos, Danao. Ganun na nangyari, sige. Okay, the question of Senator Bato, he wants to direct it first to lawyer pa pala ito ating lawyer, former police chief, Attorney Archie Gamboa. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Diba to ang
First,
nakakasama?
I'd like to put everything in the proper context because if you only deal with how Attorney Jokno has interpreted the Command Memorandum Circular, you will have your really that kind of bias. Now, as an opinion, there are at least 3 laws that prohibits disclosure of classified documents. There's Napolcom Circular 2016-002. There's Republic Act 3019, Section 3. And there's Republic Act 6713, Section 7. All of this prohibits on the part of the government employee to
Naka-high blood si
divulge
Bato.
plans like this. For your information, that plan that was presented is classified as confidential. There are limits to the access of that. Why? Because while it may not endanger national security, peace and order, and public safety, it might be prejudicial to the interest, prestige of national government activities. It may cause administrative embarrassment. It may cause unwarranted injury, and it may be advantageous to other nations. I am telling this because first and foremost, those documents are not supposed to be accessed by the public. But this responsibility lies on the government employee themselves. Pero ito, wala na tayong magawa, Mr. Chair, dahil lumabas na siya. Now let's go back to how policemen would interpret this. Before we became members of the Philippine National Police, we were members of the Philippine Constabulary. And the word neutralization can often be found in operational plans of the military. It's always there. So probably, as we transition to the now Philippine National Police, we carried the same interpretation. Now, if you look at the entire CMC, the Command Memorandum Circular, in the coordinative portion, it emphasizes respect for human rights as embodied in the 1987 Constitution, respect for police operational protocols. It's all there. So if you take it in its entire context, you don't necessarily mean neutralization is killing. Because it may cause, no, there's a question of bakit nag-iba ang shift ng strategy ng PNP to double barrel? Bakit merong tukhang, merong HVT na sinasabing nagdedetermine ng drug list? When you are a member of the military, even in our campaign against the insurgents, we always start with the order of battle. The order of battle is the list of suspected communists, be it armed guerrilla or even legal fronts. Because this is where you start your work. Because if you start from nowhere, where are you going to go? That's why in our campaign against illegal drugs, we start with the drug list, those that are listed. And then from there, we develop strategies first to look at them, maybe if we can file the appropriate cases or conduct probably bypass operations. Ang mahirap kasi if you take this into just one context and one page, actually I have listed that during the CMC 2016, there was a mention 4 times. Page 3, page 12, page 15, and page 16. And negation in page 5. But if an ordinary policeman would interpret this, it means it will still be based on how the law operates. As a chief PNP and as a lawyer, I would not allow that it will go out of the bounds of the law. Mahirap kasi pag kunin mo yung context na iisang page lang or dito ka lang sa neutralization. Why don't you go through the different pages? This is a memorandum circular
Hindi pa nakukumpronta ni
covered by
Marciano.
almost 18 pages.
Baka
And take the interpretation in its entirety. Hindi lang doon sa neutralization. I don't know what could be the reason, but that's how a former chief PNP and a lawyer says it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair.
Bakit ako follow up?
Yeah.
Follow up. But is the word neutralization commonly used in police
Oo
documents?
nga. Hindi.
Sige, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Ha?
Yes, sir. Even in the military, sir, as I have said.
In the police, kaya ako kinakontextualize eh. Wag tayo,
Sa
kinakontextualize
pulis wala
mo.
eh. Bakit?
Kayo ba police? You consider yourself military?
No, sir.
Okay, police. So, in the police context, common ang word na neutralization.
Yes, sir. Even if you can see on that
So-
different 6 memorandum circular, you see it, sir.
Kaya nga, that's one document. And then, I'm now asking you before
Yeah,
ka naging
noon
chief,
lang
siyempre,
si
ang lawak
Duterte.
na experience
Nang
mo.
inano lang
Madalas
yun.
mo na-encounter sa police career mo ang word na neutralization.
Ha?
Yes, sir.
So just as you made the study ko ilang beses ginamit yan dito sa
Yes, sir.
document,
Yes,
can you give us a study kung ano yung mga police documents na na-encounter mo ang neutralization at saka negation?
I am just saying, sir, that the 6 memorandum circular issued during the 2016
Pero
to
hindi gaano
2022,
ginagamit sa
the
pulis.
neutralization
Wala
and
naman
negation
silang-
has always been used in the different circular. And this has passed through at least 3 chief PNP signing the
Yes.
circular.
And did it all start with this particular
One,
memorandum
yan lang.
circular? The number-
Nag-start lang dyan.
Number 16-2016.
Yes, sir.
Dito ba nag-umpisa?
Yes, sir.
Kaya nga, so after this, madalas nang gamitin si
Yes, sir.
neutralization.
Yes, sir.
Yun ang point.
Even on the memorandum circular
Noong
signed
2016
by
lang.
Chief PNP Albayalde, maybe because of the misinterpretation, the neutralization has already been defined.
Has already been
Defined in the definition of terms.
all the time na. Sige po. Chief, itong aking records dito, ano ka? You were chief of October 14, 2019.
Thank you
Kino
po sa
consider
mga
ka na ba chief, no?
nanonood
Up to-
together
Yes,
with
sir, as
me.
officer in charge, but limited on the...
Up to
Maganda ngayon ang
2020.
discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alam mo ilan ang casualty sa war on drugs? Do you know? Sa term mo?
I think 662, sir.
Oh.
662.
Yes, sir. We have already list on the different died in police operations on the different terms of the chief PNPs.
Yes. Basta in your particular term, 662.
Yes, Mr.
Wow.
Chair.
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Kakonte.
Yes, Teresa.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. I'll be asking follow-up questions
Yung mga
after all the
non-neutralized lang
former chiefs
siguro.
PNP have spoken. Pero I think may binanggit po si former Chief PNP Archie Gamboa at least 3 importanteng punto. Una, talagang magkakaiba yung sa militar or even the
Oo.
PC before.
Sa
Bilang
militar
military
lang yata yung
organizations
ginagamit,
na
ano?
gumagamit ng
Neutralize. Sa militar ko na ano eh.
uh,
Yung mga army.
list of targets, at saka yung use ng word na neutralization. Iba talaga sa context ng kanilang dating counterinsurgency operations ng PC at ng AFP until recently na pumipihit sa external defense. Ibang-iba supposedly ang PNP. That's why nagpasa ang Kongreso noon ng PNP Reform and Modernization Act to create the new PNP. So ibang-iba po yung paggamit ng neutralization or negation sa PC noon at sa AFP, maaring hanggang ngayon, kesa sa PNP. Pangalawang importanteng binanggit ni former Chief PNP Archie, sinabi nga nila na why would they want to arrest rather than have those effect of killing. Kasi po, yung isa pang pag-uusapan natin in this hearing or perhaps the next hearings, Mr. Chair, merong tinawag na nangyaring perverse incentive. Lumabas na po sa isang resource person. Pag aresto, walang reward, walang incentive. Pero pag napatay, may incentive. At may gradations pa ng magkano yon, depende kung low level or high value yung napatay or pinatay. And pangatlo po, I just would like to return dun sa pinaresent so far ni na Attorney Jokno, Attorney Chel, na pati doon sa mga nakuha nilang after reports ng PNP sa mga napatay, yung mga nakalista earlier for neutralization or negation, nakalagay po killed. So, in the course of the years of the drug war, in the course of the years of the EJ case, talagang napagpalit-palit na yung neutralization, negation, at yung pagpatay as a description and siguro in the nature ng mga human organizations sa pagkaintindi even during the operation. So just for the record, Mr. Chair, bago yung ating iba pang former chiefs PNP.
Senator
Salamat
Bato.
tayo,
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Ayun na naman, si
Mr.
Senator
Chair,
Bato.
I have given this body the Google meaning of the word neutralization. This time,
Ba't
I
mo
would like to share
ginugal?
with
Ikaw
you
ang nag-ano?
the police meaning of neutralization as defined in page 188 of the Police Operational Procedure Manual. And it says,
Nag-google pa.
neutralization,
Kasi ang
a
nagbigay
police
ng...
intervention in
Ano ba yung
strict
utos na
accord
yun?
with the use of force continuum and or principle of proportionality on the use of force purposely to contain or stop the unlawful aggression of the offender. This may include an arrest, capture, surrender, or other acts to subdue the suspect. Wala mo nakalagay dito na kill sa definition ng PNP Operational Manual, Mr. Chair.
Kayo nga ang
Thank you,
nakikil.
Mr. Chair. Mahirap kung nga magbigay ng meaning, somebody from outside the PNP ang mag-interpret sa isang police term. It should be people from within the organization be given the chance to interpret this term accordingly, Mr. Chair.
May we know when the PNP officially and formally defined the word neutralization? Because sa notes ko, mayroon -21. It gives me the idea it's 2021. Am I correct or not?
Yeah, this is 2021.
2021, okay.
Dahil nga sa palaging minimisinterpret ng
Okay.
publiko yung
So-
term na neutralization, the PNP come up with the correct
But
meaning.
is it a fact that in the command memorandum circular number 16-2016, where the word neutralization appears, wala pa siyang definition nung time na yun?
Wala pa, Mr. Chair. But it doesn't mean kung walang nakasulat na definition, isama mo na yung puro patay-patay na lang ang
Correct.
gusto mo sa neutralization.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do you want to continue with the ex-chief? Senator Baton, you want to continue?
Yes. Yes,
Linya,
Mr.
okay.
Chair.
Same question, kung natatandaan niyo pa, sir. Kung same question ni Senator Baton. So, Debolsinas, we have, yes sir, General Retired Debolsinas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. First, I'd like to thank the committee for inviting me. Nagbigay na po ni Senator Bato at saka ni Sir Archie po ang definition. Yun po talagang inadapt namin, Your Honor. Hindi po kagad patay. Because the context talaga, kasi kagaya yung operational procedures, kasama po yun sa tinuturo at saka nasa mga training at saka mga discussion. Hindi po kagad patay. Dapat we do the, after mag-case build-up, the arrest, capture, kung mag-surrender, is-surrender. Tapos kung mayroong imminent threats na talagang lumaban, doon po talaga nag-engage ang pulis po. Kaya nga pinakita rin po kanina na may mga instances din na pag hindi ready ang pulis, kami po ang mapapatayan. It does not mean na pag sinabing neutralize, ang sinasabi namin sa mga tao namin sa baba during our conferences, our coordinating conferences and meeting, ay patay. Hindi po yun, sir. Ang una talaga is to neutralize, to stop their operations, to stop their aggressions on equal force, just enough to neutralize them. Yun po, sir, ang kuha namin. Yun po ang ginagamit na term na pinasa na po namin sa baba. It's not immediate killing, sir, ang kuha po namin. So we have the same stand po, sir, with Senator Bato and Sir Archie, sir. Thank you po.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I may, just,
Yes,
just,
yes,
just
yes,
very
sir.
quick intervention, Mr. Chairman, because I was listening attentively, whether as to when the word neutralization came into the picture and the definition came in later, as you mentioned, 2021. So my next question, or probably a practical question, would be, how do you come up with a list of persons that you need to neutralize if you don't have the definition of neutralization? I think it's a practical question, Your Honor.
Take that up sa some other future.
I just want to put that on a...
Tuloy lang natin
Yeah.
si ano. Pero
Thank
hindi,
you.
may nasabi kasi si General Sinas na yun ang, sabi mo, yung interpretation na yun ang pinaabot mo sa baba. So, I mean to say, nag-issue ka ba ng mga circulars when you were Chief PNP? Na you interpreted neutralization?
No po, sir.
How did you do
We
it?
do with our conferences, with our...
So, verbal?
Yes, sir, verbal po, sir.
Sige, General Danao, please, same question daw ni Senator Bato.
Yes, sir. Honorable Chairman and other members of the Senate. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Sir, I was assigned as the officer in charge of Philippine National Police from May 2022 up to August. So it's only 3 months, and that was the time of election. And from 2016 to 2018, I was just a mere directorate or staff of the directorates of intelligence and the CIDG. But as far as the neutralization word is concerned, as being discussed before during the height of the drug war, for me, sir, I would take it as neutralization is a form of police operation. First, sir, is the voluntary surrender of the suspects of illegal drugs. That is one. And it could also be through the legal arrest of the suspects through bypass operation, through conduct of search warrants, and other forms. It could also be through checkpoints. Kasi minsan, sir, may mga checkpoints dyan na makikita in possession, sir, yung illegal drugs ng mga suspects. And it could also be, the word neutralization could also be the meaning, the killing of the suspect. So yun, sir. So pero yung sinasabi siya na interpretation how we conduct operations sa mga, sir, nasasabi na killing, parang medyo wala naman kung ganon. But it is only how to the people on the ground on how they interpret it as such.
Thank you. Okay, ganito.
Mr. Chair, I
Sige,
respond.
just if possible, briefly lang, Attorney Jokta, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unang-una po, I think the comments that were made missed the point entirely. Kasi ang tanong pa lang dito ay, bakit pa nilagay yun sa isang command circular? At may point out ko rin po, naalala ko rin na Senator De La Rosa na mismong kayo po noong 2016 ay
Talk to me.
ginamit nyo din po ang salita
Talk to me,
neutralize.
Attorney
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. But may I point out that Senator De La Rosa in 2016 also used the term neutralized to refer to a bounty being raised to have him killed by supposed generals who were allied with the drug, to those people involved in drugs.
What's your source?
This is
ma-check din namin.
Amita Legaspi, GMA News, published September 28, 2016, dito po sa GMA News Online.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair.
siguro mamaya kung
Sabi nga,
ma-share sa atin yan, para makarya ako para
Ganda naman ng viewers.
Wala akong context.
Hindi ako tinanong para yung staff ma-check kagad ng staff.
Just a few more points, if I may, Mr. Chair. General Gamboa mentioned the use of the order of battle, pero matagal na po yan na-ban. Bawal na po gumamit ng order of battle sa ilalim ng Anti-Torture Act. So kung sabi niya ay yun ang ginagamit nila sa counterinsurgency, yun din ang basis nila sa drug list, wala na po yun eh. Pinagbabawal na po yun na matagal na ng ating batas. And finally, the point that confidential daw yung circular na ito at dapat daw hindi kami nakakuha ng kopya. Kami mismo ay nag-request sa PNP para sa kaso sa Supreme Court at binigyan po kami ng certified true copy na sinubmit po namin sa Supreme Court.
Bakit?
Yun lang po, Your Honor.
Bakit?
Sino ba nag-call attention ko? Yung Senator Risa.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. A follow-up question, Attorney Job, no? Attorney Job, apart from semantics, may basis po ba sa karanasan na yung naging interpretasyon ng iba sa neutralize o negate ay pumatay?
Ayun nga po, yun na ipakita kong mga slides kanina na mismong galing sa pulis. Santa Ana, Police Tondo, mismo kay Colonel Joby Espenido, sa PIDEA Chief. Lahat po sila ginagamit nila yung salitang neutralize. Ang ibig sabihin ay kasama na doon yung pagpapatay.
Salamat.
Mag-ready ka muna, Colonel Espinido, tatanungin kita. Pero ito lang, para lang just educate this representation or the Committee General Gamboa. General Gamboa, bakit mo ba nasabi in the first place na top secret or secret ito na wag i-circulate itong command memorandum circular? Bakit? Why?
Sir, Mr. Chair, as I have said, the sanction goes to the government employee, not to the recipient.
No,
So-
but why? Why?
Bakit? Para hindi malaman ng mga tao?
Limited circulation ito. It was really designed for limited
Oo.
circulation.
No, sir. Meaning to say, the circulation is controlled. There are different classifications of the documents in the police. Like there's secret, there's top
What did
secret.
anong marka nito? There's no marking.
Oo.
It's supposed to be confidential, sir. It's supposed to be a cover page. And down below should be stated confidential.
Para hindi
But
malaman ng
probably
tao,
because the
mga-
PNP already officially released it, that's why they removed it.
So there's something wrong kung may separate page andun ang confidential and yet sa document itself walang tatak na confidential. So
Walang tatak na
if ever
confidential.
nakikinig ang PNP sa atin, if that is what you want to happen, tatakan nyo ng confidential yung dokumento mismo. Wala na rito eh. There's no more trace that is confidential. Anyway, okay na po yun. Just for my information. Colonel, ikaw yung ito sasabihin ko nga sa kanila. Hindi ka naging PNP chief, pero talagang sa ground ka. You conduct police operations, etc. And I think you have an admission under oath that you interpreted the word neutralization as not naman siguro meaning to kill, but as including the possibility of killing. Sige, just explain to us ano yung ibig nyo sabihin.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair, sa lahat. Good afternoon. Ang sa akin naman, as an operatives, matagal sa non-commissioned officer, ang sa amin, Your Honor, ang pag-intindi, pag may neutralization, may report pagkatapos ng trabaho sa status. So, neutralize, then the remarks is nahuli or namatay. Not totally, sa interpretation namin, na nakalagay dyan neutralization, patayin. Magtrabaho lang to stop anything as long as illegal. So sa remarks, so nakalagay na doon ang specification. Nahuli, nandoon, pinail sa court ang complaint at saka namatay, Your Honor. Kami ang mag-implemento kasi sila yung mga officer karap po ngayon. Sila ang taga-gawa ng circular. Pero the truth is, ako number one ang nag-implement. Paano i-implement ang neutralization? Hindi nakapokus sa neutralization, kundi nakapokus kung sino ang target na illegal na hulihin ba or mamatay kasi yun na may firefighting na ang nangyari. But not totally na nakalagay sa isip namin as non-commissioned officer na nasa field, nasa ground na yun patayin kasi neutralization, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Kasi kami ang magharap sa korte kung sakali sundin. Maski hindi na naman, patayin lang kasi neutralization, no. Kaya sinabi ko sa Quadcom Committee, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na pwede, sa lahat pwede, possibility, as long as real trabaho, kung ano talaga yun ang harapin mo, ay, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Sige.
Pinag-aawayan ngayon ng word na neutralization, kung ano yun.
meron ka sinabi...
Sa inyong mga friend, anong
Pwede.
ibig sabihin sa inyo
Ano
nun?
po ibig mo sabihin doon sa pwede? Na pwedeng
Pero
mamatay.
alam ko sa neutralization
lahat,
sa
may
mga
possibility,
sundalo.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, kasi
Pag may
sa situation na nandyan,
mission
magdaming
sila.
experience ko for my 28 years.
Yeah, pwede mamatay kung ano?
Kung lumaban,
Oh, yun.
example,
Laruin mo. Laruin mo kasi you're living space of doubt eh. Na pwede pala, pwede.
pwede sa lahat.
Pwede kung
Kung lumaban.
lumaban.
Yun nga, sinabi ko.
Oh, kung di lumaban.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Colonel, ganito, okay. Kunyari, hindi neutralization yung word na ginamit. Arrest, o ano. Pag lumaban,
Ganon pa rin.
ganun pa rin, hindi nga.
Mr. Chair, ganon pa rin.
So, okay, Senator Risa, yun.
Salamat kay Mr. Chair. Related dun sa isang puntong binanggit ni Police Lieutenant Colonel Espenido, balik lang kay Attorney Jokno, may pattern naman po bang nakita yung flag related sa mga kaso di umano ng nanlaban? I mean, kapani-paniwala ba na lahat self-defense on the part of the law enforcer yung pagpatay sa mga ito na sinabing nanlaban?
Dalawa po yung nakita namin. Unang-una, sa Santa Ana Police Reports na naibigay sa amin, meron silang tinatawag sa PNP na information report. Ito yung report na doon nila nilalagay yung mga information about the suspect galing sa mga informant nila. At this is used pre-operation. Sa mga information reports na nakita namin, nandun na yung salitang immediate apprehension and neutralization of that particular suspect. Second, yung pangalan nila ay sa maraming kaso ay nasa listahan din ng drug watch list for that particular area. And then later on, pagka nag-operate na ang police doon, meron silang report na nanlaban kaya napatay. Nung curious kami po noon, kinompare namin pati yung language, yung mismong wording ng iba't ibang mga police report tungkol sa nanlaban. At yung isang very striking sa amin ay halos identical yung ginamit na salita. Kumbaga parang cut and paste yung mga ginamit na salita. I can provide the committee with copies of these police reports.
Please do, Attorney Chel. Salamat
Yes,
kayo,
Your Honor.
Mr.
Kung pwede, more than just providing us with a copy, Attorney Jokno, if you can, parang, give us a parang memorandum or position paper na inorganize mo na yung observations mo.
Yes,
doon,
Mr. Chair.
Para you direct our attention to what you have noticed.
Yes, sir.
Ito, Colonel Espinido.
Mr. Chair, just to respond to the pattern of Senator Riza.
Sige, Father, go.
Once again, going back to our documents, listening to the narratives of the families, wala po. From the 312 that we have, no one fought back. Ulitin ko po, wala po
Siyempre,
naglaban
takot.
sa kanila. Salamat po.
Bakit man lalaban? Yung mga pulis yun.
Yes, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, if I may, habang on deck si Father Flavi, and mamaya itatanong ka rin kay Attorney Chel. Father, tama po ba na your sedition cases were filed against you? Kasi kaugnay po ito ng banta na hinaharap, hindi lang ng people on the ground, pero yung mga gustong magdepensa sa mga EJK families.
Kung kakasuhan pa yung
Mr.
mga
Chair.
dumedepensa sa
Salamat,
mga
Father. For the record, Mr. Chair.
biktima.
Mr. Chair, if I
Nasaan
may
ka
ask a
na,
similar
aking
question kay Attorney
Pilipinas?
Jokno, kay Attorney Chel. Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. Attorney Chel, could you describe briefly how was it to be an opponent of the war on drugs during its peak? Anong klaseng mga hamon ang hinaharap ng mga human rights
Pabor ba kayo sa war on drugs, mga friend?
kasama na po yung
Noong
galing sa legal
2016?
Ako po ay naging, sabihin na lang natin, biktima ng isang late night speech ng dating Pangulo.
Oo, yan.
Paulit-ulit niya akong personal na nilalait.
Yan
At,
kasi.
I found it very
Ang galing
offensive
magsalita
because
ni
it had
Duterte
nothing to
noon
do
ng
with the work I was doing.
ng
But of course,
hindi maganda.
Pangulo po siya. Gusto niya magsalita ng gano'n. Hindi ko siya mapipigilan.
Oh.
Aside from that, there were definitely dangers involved in assisting victims of the EJ case.
Siyempre.
Wala naman pong mga direct threats, pero minsan ay napapansin namin na merong mga lumilibot-libot at lalong-lalo na pag kinakausap namin ang mga testigo at biktima ng EJK survivors.
Sorry,
ay
mga pre.
very security conscious kami dahil alam namin yung dangers nun. Naalala ko rin, Sen Teresa, yung sa kaso nila Kian, na yung mga witnesses po ay nandun sa kay Bishop Ambo at may pagtatangka na kunin sila ng pulis. Mabuti na lang may mga media na andon at nung naibalita na may ganun nga ay hindi na tinuloy.
Salamat, Attorney Jokno. Salamat kay Mr. Chair. And I believe, speaking of dangers, we also have here today as resource persons former Senator Laila De Lima and
Yan,
former
si,
Mayor Jen
andyan na po
Mabilog.
si Laila
Perhaps
De
at the
Lima.
proper time, Mr. Chair, we could also hear them. Salamat kay Mr. Chair.
I'll give them time na, Mayor Mabilog and Laila, if they want to
Ayan.
give some opening statement.
Si Mayor
After
Mabilog.
this question of mine to Colonel Espinido. Colonel, isa pa, one question. Sa ilang years ka sa police?
28, Your Honor.
Grabe yung mga operations mo, high profile, di ba?
Sino may
Parang
utos?
Ikaw?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yung early morning raid sa bahay?
Yes,
Oh,
Mr.
si
Chair.
Paruhino.
Ang patay.
Yeah,
Simultaneous yun sa area sa 6 search warrant. 16.
16.
Your Honor. Mr. Chair.
Dami.
Okay, basta operative yan, general, mga operative. Okay. Sa entire 28 career mo, 28 years career mo sa police,
Ngayon lang
ikaw ba'y nakatanggap ng instruction, whether in writing or sa pananalita, na ginamit ang word na neutralization bilang code na patayin mo?
Oo. Doon kay Paruhinog.
Sa pagtanda ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, wala akong specific na sabihan na i-neutralize. Huli ay yung arrest, marami.
Okay. So, ikaw ba'y nasabihan na arrest pero code word yun na patayin mo?
Hindi,
Hindi.
Mr. Chair.
Ikaw ba'y nagamitan ng ibang word na code word sa napatayin mo?
Wala. May isa, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung trabahuin.
Okay.
Oo.
Patrabaho yung ganon. Pero
Anong basa mo, anong intindi mo doon sa trabahuin mo?
the result din, Mr.
Patayin
Chair,
mo.
hulihin, yun lang talaga palagi ang...
Pero anong ending ng specific na trinabaho mo? Napatay o nahuli?
Napatay.
Nahuli yun,
Nahuli?
Mr. Chair.
Maalala mo pa pangalan sino yung subject matter nung trabahuin mo na nahuli, ang ending ay nahuli din?
Mayor ng Gandara, Samar, Mr. Chair, with the person of Mayor Cabuños, at saka may apat niya na security na police na warranted.
Anong year yun, Morales?
2011, 2010, 11, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Yung pagtatanong ko sa iyo, pang credibility questions na po ito kasi hindi naman drug war ba yan? Hindi.
Hindi.
Yes. So, just to test yung credibility po. Seto ba to? Yes.
Are we commencing questioning Colonel Espinido, Mr. Chair?
Sana ng time lang kung may opening statement si
Kay De Lima
Mayor
na.
Mabilog at saka si Senator Laila De Lima.
Yan na.
And then after
Yan na, mga friend.
their
Si-
opening statements,
si
kung meron
Laila
man,
De
hindi ko
Lima.
kayo pipilitin, then we now
Pakinggan
open
natin.
questioning. But we will follow the order. May order tayo, tapos magti 10 minutes po tayo. Pero kung pwede mag-request, iklian natin 5 minutes per senator. Okay, so...
Pinakulong ni Duterte si De Lima na walang kasalanan.
Laila De Lima, just in case you want to deliver a statement.
Yeah. Hanggang nandyan si Duterte.
Yes.
Very short.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Very short, Your Honor. Mr. Chair and the honorable members of the subcommittee conducting today's inquiry.
Yeah. Ang lungkot ni De Lima.
We can destroy and we need to destroy drugs,
Yes.
but we cannot destroy lives. yan po ang sagot ko dun sa very passionate defense of the former president
Against
as
drugs.
to his policy of killing alleged drug offenders, alleged drug pushers, alleged drug
Dealers.
users. We can destroy drugs, but we need not destroy
Lives.
lives. I just wish to emphasize that. I said that in my privilege speech in August 2016,
Oh.
after I filed a Senate inquiry, a resolution calling for Senate inquiry. This man,
This
the
man.
former mayor of
Davao.
Davao City and the former President of the Republic of the Philippines, for so long have evaded justice
Yes.
and
Correct.
accountability for the thousands of those killed in the name of the so-called war on drugs. Hindi pa ko natin siya napapanagot after all these years.
Sabi
And
naman
these
niya sa
killings
mananagot.
had started nung
Umupo siya.
time pa niya as mayor.
Oo.
Yung phenomenon ng Davao Death Squad. Pinatuloy niya at nagiging klarado dun sa mga naririnig natin sa House of Representatives Quadcom hearings that yun din ang ginawang modelo
Nationwide.
ng war on drugs starting 2016. I was hoping that Colonel Garma and the others who already testified there at the Quadcom hearings, including also Kerwin Espinosa, would be here so that, our discussions, our presentations would be in sync with each other, or that we listen to them again, and then I will respond to them. Now, I responded to the crisis that we faced starting in 2016, as I said, by filing the resolution
Ito na po si
and
Lima,
by delivering
yung walang
a,
kasalanan pero nakulong ng
privilege
7
speech.
years.
Ang problema, hindi ko po yun natuloy. Yung aking pag-imbestiga noong mga nangyayaring patayan
Sa
early
Davao.
on dun sa nung naging Pangulo si Rodrigo Duterte. Malungkot po ako. Actually, I have mixed feelings now. People have been asking me, how do you feel that you're again appearing before the Senate for the first time? I'm setting foot in the premises of the Senate. Ang sabi ko, mixed feelings dahil sana nga noon pa hindi na natin hinintay yung libo-libong mga pinatay. Pero nagkagalak naman ako that I think we have the right environment now. Sana po marami pa ang lumantad para magsabi pa kung ano talaga ang tunay na layunin ng Project Double Barrel. Yung kulang ko kasi noon, nung nag-imbestiga ako, when I presided over the Senate committee hearings, yes, we were able to present, actually, konti lang, 2 lang ata out of the 13 available CHR witnesses. But because I was eventually ousted as the chairperson of the committee, after I presented Mr. Edgar Matubato, hindi na po yun natuloy. Pero, ang talagang magiging kulang ng investigation na yon ay yung mga insider na makakapagpatunay sa atin na
Dami
yung
niyang
Project
pinapatay.
Double Barrel is the very program that was used in eliminating and in killing drug suspects. Because malinaw sa mga naging pronouncements ng dating mayor, ng dating pangulo, na yan ang polisiya na niya in addressing the drug problem. Nasabi na ho kanina, yung mga examples, at marami pa ho yun. I have a whole collection of his statements which really categorically show very clearly, manifestly, that he was inducing, encouraging the killings. And it cannot just be purely rhetoric. Kasi sinunod yung mga binanggit niya. Sinunod yung kanyang mga sinasabi na kailangang patayin ng mga yan. Manlanlaban man o hindi, ang problema sa nanlaban, hindi ho kapanipaniwala. Siguro may ilan-ilan na may mga nanlaban talaga. Pero sa karamihan, sa mga lumabas na mga kwento ng mga kaanak ng mga biktima, ay karamihan sa kanila ay hindi nanlaban. Ano ba yung nangyari sa akin? Hindi lang sila nakontento na alisin ako bilang committee chairperson, but sinundan po ako ng katakot-takot na acts of persecution. Kasama na yung halos araw-araw na minumura, halos araw-araw na pinapahiya, halos araw-araw na I was deprived of my honor, and because they tried to destroy my reputation. At hindi pa ho sila nakontento doon.
Si Duterte.
Nag-file sila ng mga gawag-gawang mga kaso para subukan ako na mapatahimik. Hindi po sila nagtagumpay doon. Kahit nasa loob po ako sa kulungan, I continued to monitor what was happening. I had with me already the records ng Senate investigation, at least nung ako pa yung nag-preside. I even filed and submitted a comprehensive dissenting report doon sa naging majority report by the committee, the Gordon report. I filed a dissenting report. I also had the records of my investigation of the DDS phenomenon. Pero ang isa pong ang pwede nating makita doon is that hindi natin mga natapos yun kasi nandyan yung atmosphere of, or the atmosphere of fear, the culture of fear and impunity. Sa Davao, meron kaming ilan-ilan na kausap na sekreto, pero hindi naman sila pumayag na i-present sila publicly doon sa TTS inquiry ng CHR. Now, doon naman sa Senate inquiry, at sabi ko nga, hindi naman talaga tinuloy. Kaya hindi kagulat-gulat na yung naging conclusion ng majority is that the killings were not state-sponsored. Kung binigyan sana ng pagkakataon na talagang ituloy yung investigasyon na yon, na mas magiging seryoso ang investigasyon. Wala man lang iniisip na whitewash ng investigasyon because the then
Daming
president was
pinapatay
still
ni
at the
Duterte
height
talaga.
of his power. Ay siguro pwede natin na-prove yun. Hindi nga po yun nangyari. Ngayon tayo umaasa na dahil dyan sa mga lumalabas na ng mga revelasyon, pwede. At nandyan na yung mga ebidensya na mga state-sponsored yung mga killings na yan. So, one last point, Mr. Chair. Because,
1 minute, yes ma'am.
all right. Now, gusto ko sanang magpaalam sa committee that in my presentation, not today, because yung presentation ko dapat na ano rin, isusundan ko yung kina Father Flavi and then kay Attorney Jokno. Now I want also to present new angle. Gusto ko sanang i-tie pa talaga, i-link pa talaga sa DDS killings yung mga nangyaring patayan since 2016 or pagpatay under the name of war on drugs. I would wish to ask for permission that that's going to be the focus, especially so na lumilinaw ngayon, sinimulan na nung testimony ni Colonel Agarma, na yun ang ginawang model. I would not have the time now to really explain all of that. But I can really come up with a comprehensive summary ng mga sinabi noon nila Edgar Matubato, yung mga sinabi subsequently ni Arturo Las Cañas, who at first denied that there was a DDS, denied responsibility for the killings, denied that it was then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte responsible for that. But in a subsequent appearance, wala na po ako noon, nakakulong na po ako, he recanted and gave us this very comprehensive story, lalo na dun sa kanyang ICC affidavit. I would want to
Sige,
present
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
a
Can you
comprehensive,
wrap up? Okay na po, ma'am?
for now,
Okay, sige po. Ganito po. We will give you the time, pero pwede ba mag-request din ng committee, can you give us a preview of what you will be presenting? Siguro if you can organize also your observations and your findings in a memorandum or position paper type document, then
I will
please
do
give
that.
us. Thank you.
I will do that, Your Honor,
Sige.
including the dissenting report and then including
Thank you,
the,
ma'am.
all the observations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just very
Ay,
short, very
yes,
short.
yes.
Can we have assurance of Senator De Lima to be around once Kerwin Espinosa and Ronnie Dayan will be present in this hearing? Because I'm going to ask him questions pag andyan na yung dalawa, Mr. Chair.
May I know who is Rolly Dayan?
Ronnie Dayan was a known driver of Senator De Lima. Mr.
Oh.
Chair.
Is he the partner of Senator De Lima?
Mr. Chair,
That was revealed by Ronnie Dayan during the previous hearing many years ago, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
let's focus on our topic. Okay, gentlemen. Okay, sige, ganito. Already moved na yata yung kanina pa, no? Na Ronnie Dayan will be invited to the next hearing. Senator Laila De Lima has manifested her intention to attend the next meeting. So, the next hearing. So, tugma-tugma lahat.
Yes, Your Honor, because
you want to
that's
respond?
where I will make a
Yes,
comprehensive presentation and also comment on those revelations by Mr. Kerwin Espinosa during the Quadcom, and perhaps he is expected to reiterate that here. I was hoping he would be here.
Kasi
including
mabilog
Kerwin.
naman
You'll be
po.
there as a resource person, ma'am. You'll be there as a resource person, not to defend yourself.
Okay.
Wala, hindi resource person po kayo. Okay,
Mr. Chair, if I
okay,
may.
sa Senate
Thank you,
President.
Mr. Chair. A few questions addressed to former Senator De Lima. During your time as chairperson of the
Ito
Commission
naman,
on Human
Lord.
Rights,
Pahiyain pa.
when did you start serving as the chairman of the Commission on Human Rights, if I may ask?
I was appointed in 2008
Up to 2010.
to 2010
All right.
when I was appointed as the Secretary of
All right.
Justice.
Did you conduct investigations regarding EJ case?
Yes, the CHR and bank
All right.
conducted a public inquiry right there in Davao City.
May I know kung ano-ano po yung mga lugar na inimbestigahan nyo tungkol sa EJK?
Yung tungkol pa sa lugar, it was actually the entirety of Davao City because of the phenomenon of DDS. At inimbitahan nga po namin the former mayor,
Marami nang napatay kasi
who appeared and
noon
acted
sa
as
Davao.
resource person, and mga ilan-ilan na mga opisyal, maraming opisyal actually, the city councilors, barangay chairman, PNP officials. Only that, halos wala na nag-appear dun sa mga nakausap namin discreetly, confidentially, who shared their knowledge about the DDS. These are also self-confessed DDS members.
Hintayin ko lang hanggang si Mabilog, mga
Edgar
friend.
Matubato. Kaya lang po,
Ang
in the
magbibigay ng
2009
speech niya.
inquiry, wala pa
Yung
po
mayor
sila
na
Edgar
gustong
Matubato
ipapatay ni
and
Duterte.
Arturo Las Cañas. Na-mention yung mga pangalan nila.
Na on live,
pero
on
wala
live
pa po
TV
sila
sinabi
doon.
niya.
Hindi pa ho namin sila na-access.
Napapatayin
At,
nila.
hindi ho na-present doon sa DDS inquiry.
So wala ho kayong results ng investigation. Were there any cases filed because of your investigation, Madam Senator.
Okay, when I was appointed in 2010, meron po ako yung aking mga personal investigation notes, pero wala pa ho yung naging resolution. Now, we turned over the records to the Commission on Human Rights, and then later, they came out with the resolution. Now, that was, I think, in 2012, June 20, 2012. Yung resolution nila, one of the recommendations is for the filing of an administrative and criminal cases against then former Mayor Rodrigo Duterte and some other officials. What I know is that this was referred to the office of the Ombudsman, but I think later on, Mr. Duterte was cleared of, there was no finding or no cases filed.
So the former president
against-
was cleared. Am I
No,
correct?
it was not really cleared because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the main reason why no cases were filed with the Ombudsman against former Mayor Duterte and then President Duterte is that
If you-
nung linabas na po yung from the Ombudsman is he was already the president.
Well,
So on
during,
the presidential immunity.
in the course of your investigation, when you were CHR chairman, and you thought, and then you think that the former president was involved in killings
Killings.
in
Davao.
his hometown in Davao, why didn't you file cases against him?
Eh, wala pa nga.
The investigation was conducted. But the problem was that those who were in the know, yung konti ho na mga self-confessed DDS members at that time, they're not willing to testify.
When you were DOJ secretary, why didn't you file a case against the former president? You had all the means, you had all the power to do so. When you were secretary of the Department of
I
Justice.
actually referred the matter of when Edgar Matobato came to us for witness protection. I refer ko po ulit yung the DDS matter
So what
to
happened?
the wala po. Wala
Bakit
po.
wala? You were a very, very powerful member of the cabinet during that Aquino administration. You did not do anything?
It's not
To
that I
pursue
did
the
not
case?
do anything.
To pursue
It's
the
just
case?
that I asked the NBI to pursue further the investigation. Pero wala na po na i-submit sa akin na report. They were telling me that they had also so much difficulty accessing possible witnesses at the time.
All right. One more thing, Madam former Senator. Why is it only in Davao that you had this investigation? Bakit Davao lang? Why
Doon
were
lang
you
maraming
so focused?
killing.
And why are you so concentrated in investigating Davao?
We were focused on investigating the so-called TDS phenomenon because we have read some reports about it. Foremost of which was the report of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And he did come out with that report citing certain findings of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And meron din pong report, yung Human Rights Watch, they called it, "You Can Die Anytime," also referring to the DDS phenomenon. So we felt that at that time, because of these reports, and our CHR regional office did confirm that there were killings, but they could not tell us, or they refused to tell us that it was actually the doings of the DDS on orders of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. But the insiders, the ones I mentioned kanina, I think there were 3 of them, which we interviewed secretly or discreetly, they did say that there was such a thing as a group as a Davao Death Squad, and then formed by the former mayor, and then getting orders also from the former mayor, something that were validated later on by Edgar Matubato and Arturo Las Cañas.
Okay na.
Okay,
Tama na
Mr. Chair,
yan.
I would
Si
like to invite
Mabilog
the
naman.
attention of the former senator when she was still a sitting member of the Senate. With regard to the committee report of the Committee on Justice then, for the years, if I may read, for the years 2001 to 2009, under the Arroyo administration, 91,762 killings were reported, or an average of 10.196 killings per year, 850 killings per month, or 28 killings per day. On the other hand, for the years 2010 to 2016, under the Aquino administration, there were 85,878 recorded killings with an average of 40,313 killings per year, 1,193 killings per month, or 40 killings per day. You were the Justice Secretary during the Aquino administration. Why did you not investigate these killings?
All right. May I start by saying that on the matter of EJ case in general, especially with respect to the killings of activists, I did recommend, and it was adopted. There was this Administrative Order number 35, creating an interagency committee to look into the various drug killings, to the various activist killings, targeting members of progressive groups, leftist organizations, and that was somewhat rampant during the time of
yung mga
former
rally
President
noon.
Arroyo. Now, bakit wala pa po yung drug killings? Kasi nga po, pinapapursu ko pa sa NBI. It was not the real focus then of Administrative Number 35, which is the Special Interagency Committee to address extrajudicial killings. Now, talking about the Gordon report, you mentioned the Justice Committee report, which was subsequently headed by former Senator Dick Gordon. Sinabi nga niya po yun, na bakit yung EJ case lang? Bakit yung ibang mga EJ case ay hindi natin kailangan imbestigahan? O hindi natin inimbestigahan doon sa Senate Committee. Mukhang may problema po sa ganon. Kasi ang nakita ng committee, ng majority committee,
Kaya na mga guys, may
coming
gagawin
up
ako.
with
I-up
that
ko muna.
committee report is that, well, hindi actually nila nakita
Thank you po sa
na may
panonood.
special complexion at the time, at the start of the drug war killings, beginning 2016, under the Duterte administration. I'm not talking about the drug war killings